My name is Paul Luna, and you're tuned into F&B Lunacy. I am here today with cyclist enthusiast Sharif Hassan.
Yes, I'm a cycling enthusiast here in Atlanta. I realized when I was a bike messenger how holistic approach on my lifestyle and the way that I do things. So when it comes to cycling, I try and make sure that I'm well-rounded in my training just as much as I am on the bike as I am off the bike. So my brother and I opened up a store 8 years ago called The Spindle to to help people get introduced into cycling a little bit easier by showing them that you can ride around without having to wear tights. So we opened up a store that had like just casual pants and button-up shirts and stuff that you can ride around in without looking like you're going on the Tour de France every time you're going to work or to a coffee shop.
What is your craft? So you were in the restaurant industry, say. What is your craft? Because I also know that you are a well-known photographer or...
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been shooting ever since I was young. I was doing editorial back in the film days. And, when I started working at restaurants and I realized working at restaurants, there are two people that you don't mess with: the people that make your food and the people that make your drinks. So I became one of those people, and I made friends with all the chefs, and I saw how passionate they were about their food, and I saw how passionate they were about their guests and what they were eating and about their farmers and how much attention to detail they went into it. And, coming from outdoor sports photography, I'm what I look for in photography and within my subjects is that passion that they have for these things, and the passion that these chefs had and the excitement that they had for their dishes, whether it was to present them or to just even talk about them and where they got their food, was really enlightening and really motivating. So I began bringing my camera into work and photographing the foods and the dishes that we had in the restaurants from various different chefs. Ever when I started in the proper food scene here in Atlanta was over at Sound Table. As far as the food and beverage, and coming from an editorial perspective, not only were the dishes that he was making beautiful, but each of the ingredients were beautiful. So I really dove into that wholeheartedly and really enjoyed kind of capturing those little nuances that he saw as beautiful, that I would in turn see as beautiful, because I enjoyed the food that was being made throughout the years for me. Because like I said, when I was a messenger, I would see the difference that my body would work uh, after I ate trash food and then after I ate good food. So yeah, my background is Egyptian, and the food that I enjoy making is Egyptian, and it's something that I'm learning more and more each day, and new cuisines or new styles of making it. And then my mom her background, she was born in Yemen, and I believe her mom was Iranian. So there's a lot of that kind of mixing cultures in there as well, where they have like a Yemeni style biryani that my aunt makes that, I've never had anywhere else. So if there were ever a situation where she was taken out of the equation, like, will I never eat this food again? So I can't have that. The native dish of Egypt is molokhaya, which is jute leaf. And it's like a finely cut, light tasting leaf that once you cut it and you add a liquid to it, like a broth, it starts to create this viscosity like a okra. And ever since I was young, here in the States, I remember my mom just like pulling a sheet of it out of the freezer and then like adding it to it, where I've recently found a local farmer that grows it, and I'll chop it by hand and I'll make everything from scratch. And I think that stuff is where my head's been going with food in my world.
What motivates you?
My passion lies in people.
What would you say is the meaning of life for you?
Happiness.
Sharif, would you consider yourself a lunatic then?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think I'd have it any other way. And I would never surround myself with anybody less. Everything else is just boring. Give me the lunatics. Give me the heathens. These are the ones that are the most inspiring folks to be around. I want them all. These are the ones that drive. These are the people that drive change. These are the people that make you think, whether it's good or bad. The lunatics are the ones that drive this world. And unfortunately run this world a lot of times. I'm grateful for every day that I enter my door. I'm grateful for every day that I'm able to wake up in the morning. Even if the day before was so shitty that I went to bed early because I was done with the day, the gratitude that I have to be able to wake up each morning is overwhelming. And I think as long as we keep that in mind, how grateful we should be for these little things, these bigger problems, they cease to be big problems. About your life, then those highs are high and those lows are very low, and you have to get used to that. And it's a tough thing to get used to, but it's like that's what makes life so invigorating. You know, that's what makes those highs so high. You know, it's because it drags you through the trenches. It pulls you through the rocks. And, you know, like I said, you wake up the next day and you have the opportunity to change everything. Because the restaurant world is changing so much right now. You know, and I'm hoping that people understand and appreciate these people that are serving them, that are making their food, that are making their drinks, that are cleaning their food, they're cleaning their plates and sweeping their floors. All these people are great and are extremely important. Not just realize how important it is, but to respect it and to respect everybody's place in it. I think that that is the most important thing that we can achieve. Religions are all the same. They all say, don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. The practice is different, but the core values are exactly the same. Just don't be a dick. And there are all these like hardcore Christians and Muslims and all these hardcore people that are constantly judging and casting and throwing stones and all this stuff. And it's just like, who the hell are you? Who are you to be judging these people? What makes you so great? Just because you were patient enough to grow a beard? What the fuck?
That in itself is a clip I have to use.